Modern-day horror games have had an over-reliance on jump scares. Bigger budgets don't directly result in bigger scares. This is due to modern developers having a hard time establishing atmosphere and properly structuring a level. Instead, we are often treated with obvious open rooms where the jump scare or set piece is going to happen. On top of that, music is always ramped up at these exact moments to shock the player even more. But today, I want to talk about an older game that, despite its graphical disadvantages, has some of the best scares I've ever experienced. That game would be System Shock 2. You see, System Shock 2 does three things extremely well: audio, horror concepts, and isolation. Early on, the game is not afraid to tell you that you are alone 60 trillion miles away from Earth, and with the absence of music and friendly NPCs, all you're left with is the sound of the ship, distant mumbling of enemies, and your own footsteps. This feeling of loneliness is exacerbated by the audio design, especially since the audio produced by these enemies is proximity-based, meaning the farther you are, the quieter they get. The only time the player is going to get jump scared is when they don't pay attention to their surroundings. System Shock even gives the player a lean button to try to emphasize patient and quiet play. This slower pace ultimately gives the player time to listen and view the enemies, which leads into my last point: horror concepts. The main enemy you fight in System Shock 2 are these hive-mind telepathic worms that control and mutate their hosts. While the player can try and write off the humans that they've been controlled as dead, they often say unsettling lines like this:
"Corpse is useless to me."
Cyborg, kill me!
We burn our new flesh. We are the many sings to us.
This makes the player question how far gone these humans really are. The Cyborg Midwife is one of these enemies that has been physically altered to take care of the eggs of the worms. Depending on how you go through the game, you may have come across one or two of these, but I'd like to believe this is the first real encounter. I hope you enjoy this forgotten moment in gaming.
Don't go near the children. It's okay to come out. You're missing all.